Trump was just asked a really pointed question by Bret Baier. This is right before the Super Bowl. Do you view JD Vance as your successor? Here's Trump's answer.
Do you view Vice President JD Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
But by the time you get to the midterms, he's going to be looking for an endorsement.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening, almost 3 weeks, in the history of the presidency.
It's definitely been the fastest and the most stuff happening.
We've done so much so fast, and we really had to, because they have really, what they've done to our country is so sad. It's so sad. We're going to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
Okay, what's he doing here? I thought Trump loved JD. Remember just yesterday I played a clip on the show. JD Vance said to rehire that guy at Doge who made the saucy social media posts. Trump was asked about it. He said, I haven't seen it, but what's the vice president say? Okay, I'm with the vice president. So hold on. Now, is this a break between Trump and JD Vance? No, that's not what this is. I think that answer is much less about JD Vance than it is about Trump and everyone else. One, Trump doesn't want to be seen as a lame duck. He doesn't want to be seen as getting involved in the next presidential race, now just a few weeks into his term. Trump is presently term limited for now. No, almost certainly he will be term limited. And as Norm Macdonald says, no river so long doesn't contain a bend. But if we had to bet, we would say he's term limited. So he doesn't want to appear as a lame duck. He doesn't want people thinking about the next presidential election. But two, Trump has a lot of good people on his team who might want to run for president themselves. He wants to keep them incentivized to do a good job. He doesn't want them out looking for the next gig. He doesn't want them trying to stab JD in the back. He doesn't want that court infighting to undermine his administration. So if you want to keep a Marco Rubio, for instance, doing a great job as Secretary of State on the team, really working hard, you need to at least dangle in front of Rubio the possibility that he could be the successor. This is true for a lot of people in the administration. Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense now, very popular television host. Pete Hegseth is a legitimate presidential candidate if he wanted to be. You want to keep Pete Hegseth incentivized to be doing a good job at the Pentagon. This is a little bit more about managing the administration. Will the successor eventually be JD? As of right now, it's looking pretty good. But Trump's going to keep his cards a little closer to his chest for now. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Knowles. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies is the most convenient way to get whole fruits and vegetables daily, especially if you've focused on creating a healthier, happier lifestyle. Nature is pretty good at giving us the nutrients we need through fruits and vegetables. So Balance of Nature takes fruits and veggies, freeze dries them, turns them into a powder, and then puts them into a capsule. You take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, then your body knows what to do with them. Balance of Nature is just one ingredient of a balanced lifestyle, has no intention to replace a healthy diet, exercise, sleep, or any other healthy habits. It is intended to be used in concert with other healthy habits. I absolutely adore Balance of Nature, especially when I'm on the road, as I am a lot. I was just in California for a night a couple days ago. It is really, really great to be able to have Balance of Nature, and even if you're not eating the best, you're getting your fruits and veggies. Balanceofnature.com, use promo code Knowles, KNWLES, for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus get a free bottle of fiber and spice. Balanceofnature.com, promo code Knowles. Trump's interview with Bret Baier before the Super Bowl also gave us a few more important insights into what Trump is thinking. For starters, on the potential annexation of America's evil top hat, Canada.
The Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was at a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
Now, look, maybe if you're a 51st state, we can work things out. Trump is serious about this. Trump wants to expand the territory of the United States. He's already done that symbolically, effective yesterday, 2 days ago, which is to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. That is a symbolic way to expand American territory. He clearly really wants Canada, or I'm sorry, really wants Greenland. And I think he wouldn't mind having Canada too. This is going to be described by the liberals as a break with the American tradition. He's upending standards and norms. Once again. Is there anything more American than territorial expansion? Is there anything more? We have a whole ideology about it. It's called manifest destiny. And even that, by the way, wasn't a break with the classical tradition. It's just a re-articulation, a little American spin on the classical concept of the translatio imperii, the expansion of the empire westward, actually, which was the notion originally of manifest destiny. So it's very American. Just like when people say, these mass deportations are un-American. They're un-American. What are you talking about? We've had mass deportations in 1830, in 1919, in 1954. We deported 1 million people, over 1 million people in a single year after the Mariel boat lift in the 80s. And we've had a lot of mass deportations, okay? That's not even all of them. Same here. Trump, I think, recognizes that not only would territorial expansion make him a consequential president, he's already a consequential president, but American greatness has historically been tied with territorial expansion. And so if you want to make America great again, territorial expansion, not Bush era nation building overseas, but in a way that wouldn't ever be imperial, and we're not going to take the oil, and we're not going to... Don't forget, that was one of Trump's big criticisms of the Iraq War. Was not even on the grounds of just war. It was in part because we didn't get the oil. So in part, his criticism of Bush's expansions was that they weren't imperial enough. Okay, and I think that's what he's getting at here. Now, speaking of Canada, what about the tariffs? What is Trump really thinking of with the tariffs? Bret Baier presses him.
You announced tariffs on Canada and Mexico. You immediately got action from both of them on border security and drug interdiction.
I did. A lot of action.
Is that good enough? Is that good enough?
No, it's not good enough.
So more needed in 30 days.
Something has to happen. It's not sustainable. Now, look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like $200 billion with Canada. We owe $300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen.
So remember, Trump threatens the tariffs on Canada and Mexico, 25% tariffs, maybe higher. And he says, we're going to institute these because you're cheating us on trade and you're not dealing with immigration. And then we get some concessions from Canada and Mexico. And Trump says, okay, I'm going to put a 30-day pause on the tariffs. And a lot of people predicted, okay, well, Trump got these concessions, so now he's going to let the tariffs pass. It was just an idle threat. But here you have Trump saying it wasn't good enough, which is probably a good thing to say, because a lot of people were saying, well, he didn't really get that many concessions. Some more troops on the border in Mexico, but they already had a lot of troops on the border, so that doesn't do a lot. And Canada's going to appoint some director of fentanyl or whatever, but that's not really a serious concession. And so Trump is now coming out and saying, yeah, not good enough. Because the question with Trump on tariffs is he just using the tariffs as a negotiating tactic to get better trade deals? That is to say, does Trump view tariffs as a good threat for freer trade, for the purpose of freer trade? Or does Trump view tariffs as good in themselves because they reshore American manufacturing, because they generate wealth in themselves, because America is so powerful, our economy is so powerful? Which is it? Many people have bet on the former. Trump is now signaling, no, I want it's not that I'm threatening the tariffs, but I'd like to avoid them. I want the tariffs. Peter Navarro, I believe elsewhere, has stated that this little tit for tat with Mexico and Canada, that's not even really part of the trade, the tariff policy. That's like the amuse-bouche to the entree of the actual tariffs. Final point that Trump makes in the Bret Baier interview. Bret Baier asks him about Trump doing the YMCA and everything, dancing around at the end of his rallies and speeches, because it's a little weird. I like it. I find it very charming. But It is a little odd. What is it? Here's Trump's answer.
UFC fighters winning fights, NFL players doing the Trump dance.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that was going to be a thing?
No, I didn't. I mean, we do these rallies. They've always been great, but they got really great. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I try and walk off sometimes without dancing, and I can't. I have to dance because it's just got something special about it.
I love this. This is one of my favorite Trump answers I've ever heard. He says, look, I try to walk off stage without dancing, and I can't do it. I just have to dance. This is, I know I'm going to be criticized for making this comparison. There are at least faint echoes here of King David dancing before the Lord, okay? Trump is a guy who at least got some religion in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania. I don't know how you don't get religion if you're in that field in Butler, Pennsylvania, and a bullet hits your ear and you survive. And this guy, he just said, I just got to dance. I don't care if I look ridiculous. I don't care if people make fun of me. I don't care if it's unpresidential. I just have to dance. I love it. That's kind of how I feel with these early weeks of the administration. I just think how could you be down, man? The policies have been great. The vice president is giving Thomistic philosophy lectures in Latin. How could you not dance? How could you not dance in these early weeks of the administration? Oh, hey, man. Thanks for watching that clip. I hope you liked it. I trust that you did because you made it to the end here. So if you did, ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel, and then I'll see you next time in a situation much like this one.